everybody get your drink of water. I'm going to go ahead and put on my apron. It is time to start on the second half of tonight's chat. We are going to be making something yummy in this second half. Oh, and Loretta says you could make it or buy it with no fat. Awesome. Hello, Janet. Good to see, or Janelle, sorry. Hello, Janelle. There's a problem with reading without having my glasses all on. Okay, excuse me while I check my hair. Okay, so if you were watching this later on YouTube, and if you just want to skip straight to the recipe part, then you will know on YouTube, just go to the second video. When Casey posts these, she posts them in two different ways. She does, hello Karen, she does a 1 hour video that's everything, and then she does a she separates just the second half so that if you just wanted to go back and see the second half, you can do that as well. Okay, Scott substitutes drained fat-free Greek yogurt replacing cream cheese. Love it. Do that all the time, and we talked about that during our in-person workshop last week. Okay, so since we've been talking about making smart swaps, tonight we are going to talk about a smart swap for lunch. Last week we talked about, I showed you how to make a 0-point breakfast. This week we're going to talk about some smart swaps for lunch. This would be good for lunch or for dinner. I'm calling it lunch because this is actually going to be my lunch for tomorrow. As I stated, we are doing trunk or treat tomorrow night with Casey, or my daughter Casey is loading up her trunk for a trunk or treat, and the 4.5-year-old Alyssa and the 1-year-old Bo are going to be there. That means I'm going to have something good, okay? I'm going to have something good before we go for trunk or treat so that I stay out of the treats and I stay out of all that's, going on. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about some smart swaps. So I need a couple of volunteers that are going to look something up on their phone, and I did not cheat and look these up prior. So I need just a couple of volunteers that are going to look up the points on a couple of things while we're talking. Okay, the first thing I need y'all to look up, how many points is a regular, okay, well, where are my volunteers first? And then I need one of the volunteers, okay, Cynthia's going to be a volunteer. I need you all to look up how many points are in a regular chicken tender. So a regular fried chicken tender, and Debbie's going to help too. And it doesn't matter where it's from, just a fried chicken tender. It could be from Publix, it could be from Zaxby's, it could be when you make, just a regular, thank you, Haley. So I need to know how many points is in a regular chicken tender. Full fat. Hello, Gina. It's good to see you. So just a full fat regular chicken tender, nothing special. Okay, Vicky says 8. Okay, and in the air fryer basket, I'm sorry, I've already made some, so it's a little dirty. In the air fryer basket, I've got I have some chicken breast tenders. So they're just naked chicken breast tenders. I just spritz them with a little bit of olive oil. Okay, and I'm gonna add a little bit of Bragg nutritional yeast to that. You could season this, but what we're gonna put with this is so flavorful that I'm not gonna add any more, okay? Interesting, Haley looked it up by the ounces. So, and Debbie looked it up by kids meal. So I'll go back and look at those in just a second. We're gonna put these naked chicken tenders. So these are naked chicken breast strips. I'm gonna put them in the air fryer, and I'm gonna put them on 360. It's not gonna take 15 minutes because I bought the really thin ones this time. If you go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, you will find, and just search chicken tender or chicken breast, then you will find a recipe for that man's chicken breast, and the recipe calls for regular chicken breasts. These I got across the street at Food City today, and they are super thin, so we will not be putting them in there for this exact amount of time. A regular chicken breast is 360 degrees for 18 minutes, and you flip it at the halfway point. These are super thin, thinly sliced, so we will not be doing the entire 18 minutes. Okay, So let's go back and see what some of our results were. So Vicki says 8 points. Let's see, then 5 points. Lynn says Chicken Express, 1 regular chicken tender is 4. Haley said 3 ounces is 5 points. Debbie says it's 8 for a kid's, for the what you would get in a kid's meal. Let's see. Cynthia said Chicken Express fried chicken tenders, 4 points for her. Marianne says a restaurant style 3 ounce is 5 points. Ooh, Barbara's ready to do her homework. Debbie says 3 ounces is 5 points. And then Debbie said 3 ounces breaded is 7 points. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say, I'm just going to take a quick average of those. So we're going to say, yes, Loretta, so what I just put in the air fryer is fresh, boneless, just chicken breast with the rib meat trimmed from it. So it's just chicken breast, okay? So I'm going to take the average of all of those, and I'm going to say the amount that I'm going to put in what I'm making, we're going to call it, we're going to say it's the equivalent of 2. So if they averaged, I don't know, looks like they averaged for a breaded one, we're going to say that 2, actually that's like the equivalent of 3 chicken tenders. So I'm going to say 15. So I'm going to say 15 points for the regular. Okay, Phyllis says KFC extra crispy 1 tender is 4 points. Okay, so maybe I'm going to make that 12 then. So we're going to say it's going to be 12 points. Wow, that eraser on that pencil is terrible. So we're going to say the equivalent of 12 points of chicken. Okay. And then the next thing I want you to look up is dressing. So I need somebody to look up 2 tablespoons of any kind of full fat normal dressing. So don't pick like Skinny Girl dressing, don't pick Walden Farms, don't pick something that's light. I need to know how many points 2 tablespoons of regular dressing. It could be ranch, just some kind of a green goddess, something like that, some kind of a full fat dressing. So I need to know how many points that is. And while you all are looking that up, I am going to get some things ready to go here in the food processor. So this recipe that I'm going to make next, so the first recipe is just for, that's that man's chicken, and it's the chicken breast, not chicken thighs. The chicken thighs definitely have points. Okay, let's see. Haley says 5 points for the ranch. Carol Lou says ranch is 5 points. Okay, that sounds good. What we're going to make, though, what I'm going to show you how to make now is a recipe from Pound Dropper, and this is for her jalapeno cilantro dressing. Oh my gosh, it's 0 point creamy jalapeno cilantro lime. There you go. Okay, let's see. Lynn got 5 points for 2 tablespoons of Hidden Valley. Debbie says ranch is 5. Vicki says Marie's blue cheese is 2 tablespoons for 6. Carol Lou says ranch is 5. And pardon me. Excuse me, I knew the sneeze was coming. Let's see. Okay, Phyllis is sticking with KFC, and she says I lost it. She says she is sticking with KFC, and a honey mustard dipping sauce is 5 points. Okay, and Gina said she used to think that I was saying fat man's chicken. Yeah, that. T-H-T. I know a lot of people thought I was saying fat. Okay, and Haley says Green Goddess is 5 points. Okay, this is a recipe from Pound Dropper. If you do not follow her, I would suggest it. She is on Instagram under www.pounddropper. You all have already mentioned her at least once tonight, so I know some of you all do follow her. This recipe came off of her website, and it is titled, so if you just go to, I think it's just pounddropper.com, and look up creamy jalapeno or jalapeno cilantro or dressing or 0 point dressing, you will find it. So the ingredients for this are, you need 3, now I've already made part of this so that I could cheat or have it, but the full recipe calls for 3 medium jalapenos. So these are medium jalapenos. They've already been washed. Remember to wash all of your produce before you use it. 1 of the 3 jalapenos is already in another batch. Okay, if you are sensitive to hot things, to spicy things like this, please don't do this with your bare hands. It doesn't bother me. Jalapenos don't bother me. Habaneros don't bother me. Also, Oh man, and Carol, I forgot. Carol Lou is not a fan of cilantro, so she wants to substitute parsley. Sure. Sure. And Julie, it's not that bad. And I've also seen what are those jalapenos called that are not spicy? Does anybody know? There's some kind of a jalapeno that it's flavorful, but it's not spicy. But if you are sensitive to things like this, please do not do this with your bare hands. Please be prepared to wash your hands. And for heaven's sake, whether you are sensitive to hot things or not, do not touch your eyes or your dog's eyes or your friend's eyes or your little sister's eyes or anything like that. Okay? So don't do that if you are sensitive to this. So I found the best thing to get the insides of a jalapeno pepper out with is believe it or not, is a grapefruit spoon. So I'm going to do that quickly. So all I did is wash the jalapenos, cut them in half, cut the tips off, cut them in half, and now I'm using a grapefruit spoon to dig the center and the seeds out, because the grapefruit spoon has that little serrated thing. Yeah, and Haley says, and wear gloves if you wear contacts. Yeah, oh my gosh, if you wear contacts, do not get your hands near your face, okay? And I'm so serious when I say don't touch your eyes, don't touch your dog's eyes, don't touch anybody else's, just don't, until you have washed your hands after this. Okay, so this is 3 jalapenos with the seeds out. And if you want it less spicy, you can use less jalapenos. If you want it more spicy, you can use more. If you don't like jalapenos or if you don't like spicy things, I cannot think what they're called, but there is a version of jalapeno that's not as hot. You could probably try it with just like green, like a regular green pepper. And actually, I'm going to add something to mine. This is not, what I'm getting ready to add is not part of the Pound Dropper recipe, but I had some of these left and thought we would just throw them in for a little bit of color. So the Pound Dropper recipe is 3 jalapeno peppers. Ooh, that one still got a lot of seeds in it. Let me get that out. We don't want to kill anybody with this spiciness. Okay, Carol Lou says a poblano is not as hot. That is true. Okay, I had a couple of peppers left from a week or so ago. Maybe it might have been from last week. And I'm going to throw those in just for some color. This is not the orange, and I think I have a red one. These peppers are not on the Pound Dropper recipe, so please don't go over there and go, Kelly made your recipe. And I don't see the yellow or the, the orange or the red pepper on there because they're not. I'm just adding those. Cooped. Okay, Vicky says they're called cooped. I knew that I had seen that somewhere. The jalapenos that are not as hot, cooped. So have you? And Debbie just answered the same thing. Have you seen those? Do you have any idea where you could get those? If somebody needed a cooler option of that. Okay, so 3 jalapeno peppers, and I have added some red and orange peppers just for some extra color. I'm going to check the chicken real quick. See if it needs to be flipped over. So at the halfway point on the chicken, usually just flip it over. Okay, and you'll notice on the Simple Living Products air fryer, when I stuck it back in, it just went ahead and started again. So that's 3 jalapeno peppers. Then you use the juice from 1 lime. We're going to squeeze that in there. You can use fresh lime juice. You can use lime juice from one of those little squeezy bottles. You can use that. Okay, so we got our fresh lime juice in there, and I'm going to put the rest of it in my water. And again, all of this was washed before I started using it. Then you're going to add a 1/2 cup of non-fat plain Greek yogurt, So if yogurt is 0 for you, then all of this so far is 0 points. Okay. It's about a half a cup. Okay, that's about a half a cup of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. Then you have an entire bunch of cilantro or not cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you're just going to cram that down in there. So again, you can use as much or as little as you want. I like all the cilantro. So I want all the cilantro in there. Okay, I left just a little bit so I can garnish it on top. Okay, so you have that. And then if you want to use a little bit of salt, you can. I am not putting any salt in mine. And then we're gonna add, you can add 2 cloves of garlic. I am lazy, so I buy already minced garlic. So I'm gonna add like 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. And again, this is so easy. You can adjust this recipe to whatever you want. She does recommend putting a little bit of almond milk in here. This is the second or third time I've made this. I've never put almond milk in it. It has turned out in a fantastic consistency without the almond milk, so I'm not going to use that. Okay, look how pretty that looks without even doing anything to it. Okay, so we are going to, actually let me check the chicken one more time before we do that. Oh, we're good. Because those are super thin chicken breasts. Okay, so we're gonna, sorry, it's gonna be a little bit loud. Okay, let me make sure this is all getting down on the sides. Oh, it already smells so good. Oh, it smells so good. And she says to add a little bit, of the almond milk if you want to make a thinner, smoother, like a creamier consistency. I'm good with it like this. And so you all had ranch dressing, blue cheese dressing. I saw a couple of those. So ranch and blue cheese, that was 5 points for 2 tablespoons. Okay. And because I want to be pound dropper when I grow up, I bought the exact carafe that she put hers in. You can smell it. Loretta can smell the hot and spicy. I believe you. Look how pretty that is. And the little bit of extra colored peppers, literally just for the color effect. Look how beautiful that is. And really, I mean, I wish we had smell-o-vision. I wish you all could smell this because it, oh my gosh, it smells so good. Oh, it smells so good. And she does say that after you make this, that you need to put it in an airtight jar, and you can keep it in the refrigerator. If you store it in an airtight jar, you can keep it in the refrigerator for up to 5 days. So you're going to be eating this a lot. This would be so good, like if you wanted to just put this on top of maybe some fish, or like if you were making dinner, this would be really good as, I know this is not chimichurri sauce, but like chimichurri, but this would be so good on like a little flat iron steak. As a chimichurri sauce. Ugh, yeah. I really, really, really wish y'all could smell this. So that's over. Again, that recipe is over on Pound Dropper. And if you go over there and make it, just tell her I said hello. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's so... Uh-oh. What happened? Hello? Did I touch something? Okay, so... we're going to get the chicken tenders out. They are done They are done and looking good. Y'all can hear that, right? Okay. So there are our done chicken tenders. Oh yeah, those are perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. So we already discussed the fact that chicken tenders, 2 or 3 chicken tenders is about 12 points, depending on where they were going to come from. So that's 2 or 3 chicken tenders, like from KFC or from Zaxby's. Oh, I completely forgot. Okay, I need one other person to look up how much a Zaxby's, I think it's called a Zensation salad. I need somebody to look that up. So that would be the regular salad, not grilled chicken, with regular fried chicken. But I need somebody to look up and see how much a Zaxby's Zensation salad would be. See how many points that is. Okay, and I'm gonna add a salad mix to one of those little half bowls that I love so much. And I'm gonna add some cucumbers. And whether or not we can add back points still on the new program, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Okay, just stay calm, remain calm. But whether or not we can add back points on the new program doesn't really matter. Okay, it's all good, remain calm. I'm still gonna keep adding back vegetables. I've had such great success adding cups and cups of vegetables to everything that I'm eating that I'm just gonna keep doing that. And you know what? This looks so good. I'm gonna add another piece of chicken. My salad tomorrow is going to be fantastic. Ooh, a little piece of chicken. Okay, I'm going to put another chicken tender on there because that looks so good and so yummy. Okay, anybody for the Garden House salad, for the Garden House Zensation salad, whatever, 14 points. Okay, so based on what you all gave me earlier, and Julie, vegetables, okay, I've been doing this for 25 years, non-Zaxby's, Haley, it's Z-A-X-B-Y, or just any salad that's got chicken tenders on it. I've been doing Weight Watchers for 25 years, and non-starchy vegetables have been 0 points or free. Sometimes they were called free forever. So I'm not worried about non-starchy vegetables. Okay, we gotta wind this down because it's almost time to go. So if you do 3 chicken tenders, 3 regular chicken tenders, and regular dressing, you would be at 17 points. Some of y'all are pulling up anywhere from 15 to 18 points on a commercially prepared, you went somewhere and ate it place. If avocado is 0 points for you, you could add avocado to this. If eggs are 0 points for you, you could add a hard-boiled egg. You can add, if you want tofu instead of chicken, if tofu is 0 points for you, you could definitely do that. You could use some of these points. So remember to eat this instead of that. I'm gonna choose the air fryer chicken tenders instead of the deep fat fried chicken tenders for points, for health reasons. Trust me, these are just as delicious. Then I've got my salad greens. I've got some chopped up little cucumbers here. And then I am going to use the Pound Dropper dressing and go ahead and drizzle some of that on here. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. So I'm gonna use this instead of using regular dressing that would take up a considerable amount of points. So instead of, oh yeah, sorry, I'm gonna have to taste this. Okay. So instead of using 17 to 18 points for a salad with fried chicken tenders and with some regular dressing, this is 0 points. This entire salad, and again, y'all know how much I love these. Y'all know how much I love these bowls and how big they are. This entire salad is 0 points. So here we go. And again, I would not recommend that you eat 0 points all day long, and especially not a week long. But tomorrow before we go to trunk or treat. How fantastic is this going to be? This will be an awesome and amazing, delicious 0 point meal. I'm super excited to have it. Might have to eat a little bit of it tonight just because now I've tasted the dressing and it's so good. But again, the chicken recipe is already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. You just scoot over there when we get done, scoot over to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and look at That Man, not Fat Man, That Man, THAT, and you should be able to find chicken, chicken breast, pork chops. Oh my gosh, how many things have we made with that man's things? Those, and go over to Pound Dropper. And yeah, totally. Debbie said you could have a slice of bread to use your points. Exactly. You could have some kind of crusty bread would be fantastic with this. You could add a little bacon. Yeah, so you can, it's 0 points right now. So really, if you were going from 0 to 17, I'm not saying to use up the 17, but my gosh, what all could you put with this? Yes, you could make it into a wrap. Loretta's exactly right. If you want the dressing recipe, that is on pounddropper.com, and it is a 0 point creamy jalapeno cilantro lime. It's a mouthful dressing. We will also post the link for this when we post the recipe. Later this week. Julie, really quickly, That Man. It's a long story. You will have to go to the That Man's Chicken and read the little story about that. But it was basically a cooking show that my husband and I went to, and we loved his chicken. And so we always referred to it as That Man's Chicken. That's how we knew which chicken we wanted to make. But I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you will try something like this. I hope you will do your homework. It's going to be a fun and fantastic week, I think, of food that's filling and that's lower in points. Yeah, so I hope y'all have a great week. If you're watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and let that next video roll over. I know you'll enjoy it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why not? Please go ahead and click that button and then click the little bell so that you'll be notified every time we post a video. But y'all have a great week. I'm going to try not to eat all of this before I leave and go home. Definitely going to have this for lunch tomorrow. Yum, yum, yum. I cannot wait. But y'all have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Good night.